Thank you so much for joining us. Can you tell the viewers your name and a little bit about your organization?
Hey, my name is Christine Mouton, and I'm the director of UCF Victim Services. And I've been invested and involved in that program for just over 22 years at UCF.
Can you tell us about the UCF Victim Services and the essential support that it provides those impacted by crime, violence, or abuse?
Sure, we run a 24/7 program, so we always have an advocate that will respond. We have a 24/7 hotline, and we also have a 24/7 text line. So that provides an opportunity for anyone on campus to be able to reach us in times of crisis or trauma.
How does the emphasis on confidentiality in your organization foster trust and help the victims feel safe to seek support?
We are a division of the police department at UCF, but because of Title IX, we were granted confidentiality for victims of crime at UCF. So that provides them an opportunity to disclose something without officially having to report it. So we can provide them with their options and resources and empower them to make choices for themselves without having to provide any kind of official report.
What empowerment programs and initiatives does your organization offer to help survivors rebuild their lives?
We do a lot of different things. We do special projects. We honor and provide events for every, like Domestic Violence Dating Month is October, Sexual Assault Awareness Month is April, and Stalking and Human Trafficking is in January, so we do awareness events around that. But we've actually had a grant for the last 7 years that allows us to promote bystander intervention, and so that helps us to train members of the community how to be those positive interveners. So when they see a potential situation occurring or starting, that they have the skill set to be able to step in and prevent it from happening and prevent a victimization, because that's ultimately the goal.
How does UCF Victim Services collaborate with other organizations to provide a holistic support system for our survivors?
Community partnerships are really an integral part of our program, both on campus, because we have a lot of different types of programs, but also with our community partners. And the big one is the Victim Service Center. We collaborate with them consistently, along with the domestic violence shelters, because a lot of our clients are involved in dating or domestic violence relationships, as well as being, unfortunately, victims of sexual assault. So it's really important for us to have those collaborative partnerships and make sure that our students are being well taken care of, or our faculty and staff, because it's not just a student service that we have. And so when we're referring them out, we want to make sure that they are actively supported by our community partners.
With your extensive background in criminal justice and women's studies, what motivates you to be part of this noble mission?
Oh, I've been doing this work now for almost 28 years, and my husband was a member of the military, so I had exposure to some of this as a military spouse. And so when he retired, it was my goal to get involved in the profession of advocacy and helping other people from what I had seen and my experiences being a military spouse. So I've continued to do that work and mentor and train other individuals to be able to continue the work as well.
How can viewers get involved with UCF Victim Services, either as volunteers or supporters?
Volunteers, we offer volunteer opportunities to our students as an educational institution. We offer them internship opportunities so they can get class credit for it, or if they just want to volunteer because they want to gain real life experience before they go out into the workforce, that's also an opportunity, but it's a very competitive process. Community members can support us through donations. We're always looking for opportunities to help our victims. Some of them have to relocate their housing situation because of what's happening, temporarily put them up in a hotel, provide them with needed resources, because everybody's situation is different and we just never know what that need is going to be.
You collect dragons, UCF Pottery, and art glass.
I do.
How do these hobbies reflect or influence your professional life?
Well, dragons are strong. They're mythical creatures, but they're known for their tenacity and strength. And when I was much younger, I was an art student. So I like doing things with my hands. And so anything that I can do, I I'm encouraging everyone to engage in self-care by doing hands-on type activities. It's great to have a massage. It's great to go to the beauty salon, but sometimes just taking the time to be creative is also very valuable. And so I utilize those skills myself. I'm a big DIYer. I also make jewelry, but they're just reflective of me as a person. And I really appreciate the artwork and pottery that the students at UCF produce. And I've just always been fascinated by glass.
What are some future goals or projects that UCF Victim Services are working on to continue supporting survivors?
I've always had the approach that we're never going to be in the place where we feel that we've accomplished everything. So it's always trying to find innovative ways to connect with our community members. So this is kind of a little bit weird because we're looking at starting a podcast program. We have to meet students where they are, which is why we also started the text line. And that way then we can get informational resources out to our community members and engage other members of our community in sharing those experiences and that knowledge and education with our community members.
We're going to do a activity. It's called Stepping Stones Collage. We're going to create a visual representation of the journey to healing using stepping stones, where each stone represents a stage that a survivor may go through.
Mm-hmm.
And each step represents a different aspect of healing, such as support, empowerment, and recovery.
Okay, sounds good.
Here are our stages and here are our steps.
Mm-hmm.
If we take the first step, this symbolizing us walking on stones.
The first one is going to be support.
Okay.
We're going to offer support resources to the individual reaching out for services. And then the second one is once we have provided them with all of the information, all of the resources on campus community, then we are empowering them, right, to make choices based on the new knowledge that they've gained. And that then is going to help them as they move towards their recovery.
What are they feeling? What are they going through in each step?
Okay, so
What are some of the challenges?
Well, the first challenge is even reaching out for support, right? That can be the hardest decision that people make. And particularly with our student population, they don't want to get the other person into trouble, even though it's been a traumatic or crisis type situation. So we're first going to offer them crisis intervention, emotional support, and help them through safety planning to decide what their next steps are based on their situation. And then from that, we're going to talk about all of the different reporting options that are available to them, including reporting to the police or Title IX. It may or may not have occurred within UCF's jurisdiction, so it could be the Orange County Sheriff's Office, Orlando PD, or even Seminole County, because we're right on the county border. So with all of the campus resources and programs that are available and the community programs, then we want them to make a choice on how they move forward, because it's their life, it's their decision. They've had experiences that they may not have shared with us because we're an advocacy program, we're not a therapy program. Okay, and then once they make those choices, then we support them and help them on their road to recovery, which for some people may happen fairly quickly and some may take a little bit longer. So it may be that reaching out to resources on campus, the counseling program, would be good for some people, but not offer them the long-term crisis support services that they need. So we would refer them to a community-based program.
How can viewers learn more and get involved?
They can visit our website at victimservices.ucf.edu. We have a lot of information about our program on there and a lot of resources that would still be applicable to community members, regardless of whether they're affiliated with UCF or not. And it has our contact phone numbers and information. We have an office in the Student Health Center if they're on campus. And we can also schedule appointments at the downtown campus too if somebody wants to meet us downtown.
Well, thank you so much for being here, for sharing this important information, for all the work that you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
If you're enjoying this show, please subscribe to our channel and follow our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts.